Welcome to Signal Breakdown. Today we descend into a twisted labyrinth of fate, fear, and fatal games. A place where gods do not bless, they punish where logic fails, and the innocent are the first to fall. This is As the Gods Will, and a 2014 Japanese psychological horror that is as bizarre as it is brutal. Adapted from the manga by Muni, Yuki Kaneshiro, and AKG Fujiwara, and brought to life by director Takashi Miike, a masterclass in absurd terror where students are players and death is the prize. Let's go, step by step, scene by scene, into this nightmare. Shun Takahata is like any other bored teenager. He sleeps through lectures, he plays video games, he drifts through life. He's not a rebel, not a genius, just numb. His inner monologue is simple. Every day is the same. He even prays for something exciting to happen. That prayer is answered, sharp tone, brutally. Second period history, the teacher drones on, then his head explodes. Gasp. Blood splashes across the chalkboard. Students scream where his head once was. Now sits a red Daruma doll, traditional smiling, dripping with blood. The doors lock the window seal. Then it speaks. Creepy tone. Let's play. Red light. Green light. Every time the Dharma turns around, you must freeze. If you move, you die. Simple. The rules are easy, but the punishment is not. Students panic. They run. They scream and they are slaughtered. Heads burst, bodies fall. Blood decorates the chalkboard like paint. Shun doesn't move. Not because he's brave, but because he's stunned. Students scream. Chairs screech backward. Some make a run for the doors, it's locked. Others huddle in corners or dive beneath desks. Total chaos. Another pop, then another. One by one, heads burst like balloons filled with blood. Walls are painted red. The whiteboard drips. The floor is slick. Terror overtakes everything. Cries for help turn to gargled sobs. Prayers are cut short. No one knows what's causing it. No one can stop it. And then, silence. 25 bodies lie motionless. Blood pools under chairs. Eyes stare into nothing. But Shun remains, huddled in the far corner, frozen in shock, trembling, covered in blood, breathing heavily. Finally, he makes a break for the red button. Dodging eyes, dodging death. He slams the button. The room collapses. The survivors. Just one. Shun covered in blood, alone. The lone student stands slowly, legs shaking beneath them. Their eyes sweep over the massacre one last time. Every breath is a struggle. Blood drips from the ceiling. The fluorescent lights above flicker. Silence hangs heavy. Too heavy. With trembling fingers, they push the broken door open. He steps forward cautiously, each footfall echoing too loudly. He spins around. It's his old friend. They freeze for a moment, staring at each other. Then, wordlessly, they run to each other, clutching tight. There's no time for questions, no time for explanations. Just relief, just survival. The boy glances around. We need to get out now. They move quickly down the hallway, dodging debris, stepping over bodies. Every corner could be death. Every shadow could hide the next horror. They don't look back, only forward toward any way out. But he isn't in school anymore. He's teleported to a gymnasium. Time and sewing is massive and filled with other students. Some wear uniforms from his school, others are strangers. All are survivors of their own classroom horrors. No one knows what's going on. No one knows who's running this. A loud metallic clang rang out from somewhere behind the bleachers, followed by a chilling scream that tore through the air. It was sharp, panicked, real. The basketball bounced away untouched. Every student stopped. Silence fell as if the gym had taken a breath and held it. Eyes darted toward the exit. No one moved, no one spoke. The energy shifted. Fear crept in like a cold wind. A second scream followed closer this time. Someone yelled out, "What's going on?" Then the fire alarm blared not as a warning, but like a countdown. Panic took over. Students shoved past each other, some frozen in place, others scrambling toward the doors. Then the Matryoshka appears. A massive Russian nesting doll descends. Its painted smile is cracked. It blinks and laughs. Who wants to play a game? The rules put a belt around the neck of a small, evasive, real cat. Miss you, die. The game seems childish until the first student is crushed under the doll's weight. Panic sets in. People throw bells wildly, the cat darts, hisses, leaps. Each failure ends in blood. Now chaos ruled. Shoes pounded on the polished floor as students scattered in all directions. Slipping, falling, screaming. Desks and benches had been pushed against doors, but nothing stopped. The thing, whatever it was that had turned their gym into a death trap, the air was thick with fear. Was whispers of who's next passed from trembling lips. Friends clung to each other, only to be torn apart by invisible hands. The scoreboards blinked. Nonsense. Numbers. Basketballs lay still. Forgotten. No one cared about the game anymore. All they could do was run. But the exit seemed further with each step. And behind them, something crept closer. The gym wasn't just a building, now it was a tomb. Then Takaru Amaya steps forward. Quiet, calm. He doesn't hesitate, he doesn't flinch. He smiles. He throws the bell. Direct hit. The doll shuts down. The game ends. Amaya wins. He's not disturbed by the deaths. He's thrilled. New room, new horror. The monarchy. Nico, the beckoning cat. A symbol of luck. Cute. Now becomes death incarnate. The statue towers over them, waving its paw, but its eyes, they burn red. It challenges them. Toss a red bean into my bowl. Easy. Not quite. Each miss activates a laser. One student tosses. Miss zap? Gone. Another. Same result. The cat giggles. Even those watching too long burn. Shun steps up. His hands tremble. He throws. Too short. Laser misses. This isn't survival. It's sport. The floor crumbles. The survivors fall screaming into blinding white light. When they land, they are inside a stadium. Massive empty bleachers, but not silent. Above them, enormous childlike idols hover. Observing, the next game begins. A giant wooden Kokeshi doll appears. Its face is innocent, but its weight deadly. The game. Truth or lie. A statement is read aloud. You must guess if it's true, right? You survive. Wrong. Crushed. First up, a polar bear's fur is white. One student says true. Correct. Next, Japan has 54 prefectures. Student guesses. True. Wrong. Boom! Kobayashi slams down. Blood sprays. More questions follow. Shun answers correctly. Amaya guesses randomly. Never flinching. He wins again. The doll disappears. Another level cleared. Another trauma added. The next room, a child's playroom with a massive stuffed polar bear. Let's play Shiratori. It shouts the Japanese word game, but there's a twist. If you repeat a word, if you pause too long, if you stutter. Serious beat, you die. It begins cheerfully, but the deaths are vicious. One boy repeats a word. Shiro, Kuma, tear him apart. Another girl chokes on her syllable. Shiro Kuma snaps her neck. It's horrifying and surreal. Ichika is gone. Her word was correct, but she slipped. Her knee buckled. Accusatory shout. Cheater, Shiro Kuma says. Brutal beat slice. Shun falls to his knees, but he doesn't cry. He screams at the bear, at the gods, at himself. Why? But gods don't answer. Only a few remain. Shun, Amaya, a reserved genius named Satoru, and a silent girl named Sarthak. They are brought to the final stage. A sterile white room, a glass pedestal, a bag of marbles. The rules. Each person hides a number of marbles in their hand. The opponent must guess the number. Guess right. You win. Guess wrong. You lose a finger. And the game continues. It's a brutal, slow, psychological... Sarthak snaps. She throws her marbles to the floor. I like this world better, she whispers. She's eliminated. Satoru tries to read Amaya, fails. He bleeds out. Only 2 remain. The final match. Shun. Amaya. Good. Evil. Or so it seems. Shun stares Amaya down. You enjoyed all this? He says. Amaya smiles. I was born for it. The game begins. Marbles hidden. Shun guesses wrong. A finger lost. Amaya guesses wrong. His turn to bleed. It's a stalemate. Then Shun remembers a pattern. Amaya always uses odd numbers. He guesses correct. Victory. The survivors are returned to Earth. The city is silent. Shun walks alone. No sirens, no cars. The news broadcasts static. Parents crying to empty phones. Police investigate chalk outlines with no cause of death. The world has no explanation, just rumors, theories, whispers of gods. Above it all, a cube floats silently in the sky. Watching, waiting. The games are not over, as the god's will is brutal, yes. But beneath the blood, it's deeply philosophical. It explores youthful nihilism, randomness of death, the emptiness of modern life. Shun starts as a passive observer, wishing something exciting would happen. Then he gets it and realizes the horror of chaos. Amaya is the inverse. He's an agent of entropy, a person who only feels alive through destruction. Soft call to action. If you like this deep dive, subscribe to Signal Breakdown. Like, comment, and let us know. Would you survive red light, green light, or would you blink? Until next time. Game over effect, game over.